We made it. The robber, we made it. From here now, we're gonna start our new lives. No more criminal activities. No more running for survival. A decent life in white collar just like 10 other people.
Sure, my friend. I've been waiting for this day for the last 3 years. It's not a dream anymore. It's our reality. The world is under our feet. We're finally the king of the world.
Let's just get away from here. Pack our loads and fly away to somewhere else. I want to get away from this life as soon as possible.
Run away! They're gonna shoot you too. Just run! Ooh.
No, Michael!
There's so many numbers. I said, just run!
Have you seen this news? It's not in China anymore. It's spreading all over the United States as well. We need to do something real quick.
Who worried about this bullshit COVID? There are hospitals all around us. I'm just worried about the sales of my pharmaceutical stocks. And I don't want to face losses at any cost.
Screw you and screw your company! Aren't you worried about your family's health? Don't you think about your daughter and your wife? You spend your whole life gathering guests for your funeral, but you're going to die all alone.
Yeah, I do. Now get this pineapple juice and drink it. Do you know what it contains? Vitamin C. And you need vitamin C to see the actual reality that COVID-19 isn't going to affect us. Now go make a cup of tea for me right now.
You wanna go for a ride?
Sure, Dad.
Jump in.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic.
Don't you have any other work rather than making these shitty TikTok videos?
Me everywhere.
Can you even imagine how many followers do I have on my TikTok, Dad? I'm influencing thousands of people of this state to live a better life.
By making useless videos on a Chinese app? Oh sure. Now screw all your shit. Now do something productive.
Then what do you want me to do, Dad?
Go to college. Then you can rip people off and get paid for it. It's called capitalism. You're not going to get paid by making these videos. Amanda, where's my tea?
Where are all these people going?
To save their life! And I'm going to save mine too.
What happened? Tell me.
Corona is spreading all over America. And you know what? Which place has the highest rate of COVID affected people? The north end of the sandy shores.
So running away from here is going to save you? Huh? You stupid idiot.
At least I would love to die in a hospital than dying here in this old farmhouse.
Alright. Then this corner has revealed your true face. A virus? You're going to leave your husband for a virus?
I have no other way out. I'm going to my father's house in Buffalo. They're not going to accept me with a smuggler at any cost.
The DeSanta Pharmaceuticals are so close to invent the potion of the COVID-19, but it is also mentioned that the vaccine is going to be so expensive that it cannot be bought by the working class people, said the CEO of DeSanta Pharmaceutical, Michael DeSanta.
Finally, I found you. Now you're doing business out of people's lives by selling your shit medicines. We'll meet soon, Mr. Townley. Oh, Mr. DeSanta. Hi there, Michael Townley. The bank robber. Oops. Mr. DeSanta. The owner of the DeSanta Pharmaceuticals. It's so nice to see you.
You're alive?
Yes. I never died like Michael Townley, Mr. DeSanta. If I say I am dead, then I am dead. I'm not going to raise my balding head on a beach in 9 years' time and saying all is well.
Look, I have to explain you so many things. I was looking for you.
Stop doing all of that melodrama and give me my money, my part of that money that we stole.
Let's get to the bar. Let's have some drink and then we can talk. Let me get you your favorite Corona.
Don't you dare spell this word out. For this freaking virus my wife left me. I am unemployed and have nothing to do. And here you are, selling portions of corner to the people for millions of dollars. What about people like us? Are we immune to the virus? And you're saying that's my favorite?
Calm down, man. I was talking about the beer.
Screw you and your beer. You betrayed me, didn't you? I know you joined forces with the FBI to arrest me, so that they can remove your past criminal records. Didn't you? You betrayed me, Townley. You betrayed me. You sold out to that capitalism, and you hate that thing since day one.
Choose wisely, Michael. This is your time. The FBI's can give you the life that you have always dreamed for. All you have to do is to help us to catch Trevor Phillips.
I can betray my friend. He's my brother. He trusts me blindfoldedly.
Then take advantage of that. Betray him or do whatever you want. I want Trevor Phillips behind the bar of the prison at any cost. That piece of shit has cost me my promotion since a year. I'm not gonna compromise anymore from what I deserve. And Michael, I need your help as much you need mine. Don't you wanna marry Amanda?
Yes, I want you, goddammit!
Have you ever thought what is going to happen with her when you will go into the prison with your so-called brother Trevor? The FBI's have found you now. Do you think it is impossible for us to find you out after the robbery?
Look, I got no way out, man. I wanted to marry the love of my life. And for that, I needed to start a decent life. Nobody's going to let their daughter marry a criminal. The FBI has offered me something that I can't refuse. They offered me an apartment in Los Santos where I can live with my family.
Your family? I wasn't your family? I believe I never was. Nobody does this to his family member, you creep.
Hey, Trevor.
Mr. Trevor Phillips is sentenced death penalty by the government of United States of America for killing Mr. Michael DeSanta, who was about to take the initiative of inventing the potion of COVID-19.
The rich man's dogs gets more in the way of vaccination, medicine and medical care than do the workers upon whom the wealth of the man are built. Isn't it?
Isn't it obvious? If a man can fake his death once, can't he do it twice?
In 2020, life presented us all with the plague. It threw a curveball at us, and all of modern civilization as we knew it changed the rules. Suddenly, we were forced into isolation and paranoia, a timeout for all to ponder over our destructive and self-destructive ways. It was nature, or God, or what have you, their way of telling us that things cannot go on the way that they've been going. Naturally, we were forced into introspection and revision of how we see the world around us, and we had to confront our influences in it. It is quite abnormal for us social creatures to have to alienate ourselves from other people, but we managed, some better than the others. It just so happened that I was gifted the means to paint. That is to say, I was given a big box of acrylic paints and was thrown into a situation where I would have otherwise been completely lost in time and space. It was a few days into the new year, 2020, and it saved me from the virus and from myself. Staying at home was no longer a Herculean task for me. It came rather naturally to me, because with shaking hands and absolutely no education or training in the art of painting and drawing, I dived right in. I began to lay in some colors. The first ones were absolutely terrible, but it was okay, as there were no expectations, and so I kept going. I went to the seas of unfamiliar waters, navigating through tempestuous tides. At times I felt the weight of lonely existence. There were times when the waters were calm, and at those times it was smooth sailing. Before I shot Coleridge's albatross, became as idle as a painted ship upon a painted ocean. I sought refuge in my paintings and in the romantic memories of Vienna. I went to the moon and back. I came back down and grounded myself. I continued to grow. I studied the masters like Gustav Klimt, studied the magical physics of reflection, refraction, light and dark, and perspective. There was much to learn about this world, and I was thirsty for that knowledge. And so I painted the whole world, its creatures. I painted interrelationships. I went to ancient Jerusalem and found myself in the crystal clear lake of some imagined place. This is my new normal. I notice subtle yellow oxide highlights in my dog's otherwise burnt sienna coat, the varying shades of viridian green and seamless radiant against phthalo blue in my partner's face, the ultramarine blue and cold silvery variegation in my plant's foliage, the tinge of unsaturated brown in the skies, the subtle shade of dioxazine purple in my own shadow. I know now that grays are not just black and white, but are accumulations of a whole host of colors. I see better now.
Hello everyone, this is Mustra Jahan Meme. Hope you all are doing well.
So today I'm going to connect the CA theme, the normal, the abnormal, and the new normal with code switching. So first of all, what is code switching? In linguistics, code switching is a practice of moving back and forth between two languages or two dialects or two register of the same language at one time. So for better understanding, I'm going to show you a short acting. So let's enjoy.
Hello, madam. Madam, here, come. Oh, hey. Madam, where going? Can you please take me to Dhanmondi? What, madam? Dhanmondi. Yeah, correct. Okay, madam. Sideshow, tika, only. Okay? What? Hey, madam. এতটা হাসিস কেন? আরে বেড়া বিদেশি পার্টি বোঝো টাকা অনেক চুপ থাক এই যে আমি বাংলা বুঝি অল্প কাপটলি টু ডানমন্ডি 250 টাকা ওকে গেলে বুঝেন আরে খাইছে ব্যাগ কি বোঝে লয়ে যা আর কত কইছ না লয়ে যা দি সবই বুঝছে ওকে ম্যাডাম কাম লেটস গো হাহা ধন্যবাদ.
So as you can see in this acting, the taxi driver was trying to have a conversation in English with the foreign passenger, which was quite normal. But at one point, the taxi driver was switching his language from English to Bangla to have conversation with another taxi driver. So the abnormal part came when the foreign passenger started talking in Bangla, which wasn't expected by both of the drivers. In this present time, knowing multiple languages has become a new normal thing. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, hope you're doing well, you're being safe and healthy. So in this video, I tried to relate language with the CI theme, the normal, the abnormal, and the new normal. Hope you're going to enjoy the video. Thank you.
ওগো সুমিরমা বুঝছেনি আজকাল নাতনি হে বিদেশ তো নাইছে ক কি হাসানি মিলনের মাইয়েরা যে কত বছর ধরে দেখি না ও হাসা কথা আর নাতনি মানে এখন অনেক বড় হয়ে গেছে আঙ্গরে দেখলে চাই চিনতো না আরে না তোরে দেখলে চিনবো তোর নাতনি ননি আঙ্গরে নাও চিনতো আরে ইস রে কত করে যাইব আর তো অনেক ঠান্ডা যেতেছে এখানে সানালে Assalamualaikum. Oh ya. আইসত নি বইন তোলাই যে হে হবলতন দাদি খারাই রইছে একখানা সানাল তোরে দে ওনার কই যেটা ঠান্ডা ভালো আসত নি বইন দাদি আমি ভালো আছি তুমি কেমন আছো আর সুমির মা আর নাতনি আইছে হ্যাঁ দাদু এবার ডাক্তার সুখের মানুষ কি বলবে I feel weird দেখো না আমায় আইসন নি বাবা জি চাচি শ্বাস মতো দাদি রে তো পুরো এলাকা গরম করি এলাইছে নাতনি আইব বললি একানা সামলাই হাগল হয়ে গেছে তোর লাই তা তুই দেখছো কি দরকার ছিল সবাইকে বল সবাই দেখুন তোমাকে পাগল ভাব আমি তো আসছি কিছু দিনের জন্য তো তুমিও না কিরে আমায়া কেমন আছোস জি ভালো আছি আপনি ভালো আছেন তো আচ্ছা আমি কিন্তু শুনছিলাম তুই তাদের সাথে কিভাবে বিহেভ করছিস এরকম বিহেভ করাটা তোর একদমই হয়নি কারণ তুই অন্য জায়গায় বড় হইছিস জন্য এইসব তোর কাছে abnormal হতে পারে কিন্তু এখানে মানুষগুলো ওরা এরকমই ওদের ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজটাই ওদের জন্য নর্মাল দাদুই ও দাদুই কই তুমি ইমি আইয়ো আমি তোমার বলাইতেছি তো আসো এদিকে আইসা বহ তুমি আজকে আমি তোমার লগে ভাত খামু তুমি আমার ভাত খাওয়াই দিবানি
Language is a similar term for all of us, yet the way we speak varies from regions to different parts of the universe. We tend to judge people who speaks differently from us and categorize them to sound abnormal to us, where we're unaware that it is indeed their way of speaking, which would be totally normal for them. Therefore, if we learn to accept and understand, there are chances that the things that we categorize to be abnormal would be welcomed as the new normal. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm a time traveler. Now, I am in 1980. Hello, sir. We had a meeting. Yes, good afternoon. I was waiting for you too. I was reading a newspaper. There's a very article. Haha, I have called a photographer to take a picture of us. I hope you don't have any problem. No, sir. Let's do it. I have to go to 2020 now. It was a nice meeting. Now, I'm going to visit 2020. Hi, I'm a time traveler. Oh, hey there. What's up? Huh? Is this the new way to greet someone? I thought you were supposed to say good afternoon. We say that too, but this is the common way to greet a friend. So, how was your past journey? It was really nice. Hey there, what are you guys up to? I was knocking you on Messenger, you didn't respond. Have you shared my new post on Facebook? Yes, dude, I have shared your post already. I was with him, so that could reply you. Hey, let's take a selfie. Facebook? Knocking on Messenger? Selfie? Sharing post? Hi there, what are these? But we were supposed to click it with a camera. What is this selfie thing? These are absolutely abnormal. Ha ha ha, no, these are the new normal things that no one could think it before. Yes, these are the new normal things. You have seen me reading newspaper comic. Now we all enjoy memes. Memes are the new comic. Oh, now I have understood. Those were normal and now these are new normal. Thank you. So we were about to click a selfie, right? And upload on Facebook, then share with friends? Ha 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 ha.
Hello everyone, I am Rejon Onik. I am here to talk about the semantic changes and how the changes are related to our main theme of CI, the normal, the abnormal and the new normal. In my discussion, firstly I will talk about semantic changes and the types of semantic changes with some example. Afterwards, I will show how these changes are create the abnormal impact in our community. And finally, perhaps it is seen as abnormal. People of young age receive those changes and it becomes new normal for them. So, what is semantic change? Semantic change is also known as semantic shift or semantic progression. These changes include a broadening of meaning, a narrowing of meaning, or a complete shift in meaning altogether. Semantic changes may be categorized into various types: semantic broadening, semantic narrowing, amelioration, and pejoration. Now, I am going to show you some Bengali words that include semantic changes. The first Bengali word is Babu and it means a very young child. Especially, parents are calling their baby Babu at its early age. And the conventional meaning of Babu is a specified name to summon or to attract beloved attention. Let's watch a short video related to this topic.
হ্যালো
হ্যালো বাবু, বলো কি অবস্থা?
বাবু, আমার প্রায়োরিটি তোমার কাছে কেমন?
সবার আগে বাবু, সবার আগে।
ও, তুমি কি বিজি ছিলা?
কই না তো, আমি তো শুয়ে শুয়ে খালি তোমার কথাই ভাবতেছিলাম। I am always thinking about you.
The second word is para, which means an amount of section of a story or composition. At early 21st century, the word para only refers a part or fragment. But in modern Bengali, the conventional meaning of para is ottodik jhamela, which means excessive trouble. Again, I am going to present a short video clip related to this topic.
এই কেন বই? বাসা কি আমি সব একাই খুঁজবো?
এখনো প্রথম প্যারাই শেষ হয়নি।
চুপ!
সময়ের সাথে প্যারার মতো অনেক বাংলা শব্দের অর্থ বদলেছে।
Our third word is tarkata. In Bengali, it is mean perek, a thin pointed piece of metal or wood. But the conventional meaning of tarkata is a person who is crazy. So again, we're going to watch a short clip related to this topic.
না না, আমি একাই চলে যাব।
না, মানে কথা তোমার একা যাওয়া চলবে না।
কেন? কেন চলবে না কেন?
ধরে পেদাবো।
সবাই জানে তো তার কাটা, তুই পাগল। ওই 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 এই এত মেরেছ কেন? আমি পাগল না, আমি পাগল।
The abnormal effects of semantic changes. I am presenting a true incident based on how semantic changes become abnormal in our community. In 2019, Coca-Cola Bangladesh launched a month-long campaign for the International Mother Language Day titled Nikhoj Shobder Khoje. During the campaign, the company received a total of 5,000 word submission based on semantical changes. Some of the words are jotil, choro, mathanosto, papor, agun, etc. The Coca-Cola company printed some Bangla words with conventional meaning with their beverage products. After the said word, the current meaning of the word used is given below, such as if the word is para, then the conventional meaning is excessive trouble has been written. But it creates an abnormal scenario among the government officials. Like they say theme, the concept of the burden word is abnormal to the reaction of government but was completely normal for the younger generation. Even the High Court states meaning of Bangla words on Coca-Cola bottle are distorted. They also said such words cannot be considered Bangla words because they discredit Bangla language. So the semantic changes of Bangla word create the abnormal situation. So now I am going to talk about how semantic changes are connected to the new normal. These conventional meanings are become familiar day by day. People of all ages use these words in their daily conversation with broadened meaning. People are getting adjusted to the new meaning. The younger generation mostly uses these words and pass them to the next generation. Thank you for watching my presentation.
Hello everybody. Today I will be talking about the topic normal, abnormal, new normal, and the subtitle of my topic, as you can see, is Oxford Dictionary versus the Urban Dictionary. I will be talking about how the words have converted themselves from the Oxford Dictionary and now is frequently used in the Urban Dictionary. I will be categorizing the words in the sections of normal, abnormal, and new normal. As we can see, normal, I will be focusing on these 5 words: goat, bomb, Gucci, fire, and chill. If we look at the Oxford Dictionary meaning of the word, goat is a domestic animal, a bomb is a container filled with explosive, and Gucci is a luxury brand, and fire is the rapid oxidation of a material, and chill is an unpleasant feeling of coldness. These are the meanings that I have jotted them down from the Oxford Dictionary. Focusing on the abnormal section, which is the Urban Dictionary, goat refers to as the short form of greatest of all time. Bomb describes a person to be flawless, and Gucci refers to something going really good and well at the same time. And fire is now used in the abnormal section. It is now used as an expression to show something that is very trendy and amazing. And chill, lastly, means slow down, stop caring, and don't care. We can see how the words have completely changed its meaning. So looking at the word goat with some examples, which is the new normal and is highly used amongst all. The Beatles is goat. That means greatest of all time. No one can be like Billie Eilish because she is greatest of all times. The 90s Bollywood was greatest of all times. We can see how the meaning has completely converted themselves. As we look at the word bomb, your skin looks bomb, which means your skin looks really good. My exam was bomb, it was really smooth. Her high notes in their concerts were bomb. She was actually really booming in the concert. As we look at the word Gucci, my life is going Gucci, which means my life is going really good. My exams went Gucci, which means my exams were really smooth. My vacation at Turkey wasn't that Gucci. That means it was not that up to the mark, or it was not gone that well. As we look at the word fire, the song is straight fire. The song is amazing. She was on fire on the stage yesterday. It means she did not set the stage on fire, but her performance was as attractive that it was on fire. You were looking fire. You were looking really attractive. Lastly, the word chill. Chill, man, nothing to be stressed about. Chill, you won't get laid. I will be chilling at home today. Over here, chill means stop caring. Stop stressing out. The last example, I will be chilling at home today, which means I will not be looking after anything that happens outside. That is it for my presentation. Thank you, everyone.
This is the story of almost every girl in our country and their trauma of touch without consent. An innocent child, without any perception of what she is experiencing, hides her own discomfort due to her lack of understanding. Throughout her budding years, she is grown up to slightly understand the problems in what she has been facing.
Oh, uncle. Everything is going good? Okay.
Looks for help from her mother, only to be shut down by the fallacies of society.
Mother, I wanted to talk to you about something. Can you please help me? Actually, I went to Rahim uncle's place today and he touched me very badly. I don't like it. I actually don't like it, and it's not new. He kept doing it since my childhood and I cannot take it anymore. Can you please help me? Can you please help me? Please do something about it, Mother.
You should not talk about it. If you talk about it, it will ruin our reputation, especially yours. You should have been more careful. So, be quiet.
After a while, she got married, but she did not know what was waiting for her.
I'm not ready yet. Can you please wait?
What do you mean you're not ready? We just got married. You have to be ready.
Then you're not the right person for me.
As a grown woman, she understands her right and identifies her needs over anyone else's.
Stay away from me.
As a child becomes an experienced woman.
Why are you here? I need to talk. Talk? I cannot be with this man. What is this nonsense? Why?
He did not care about my consent.
What consent? What are you talking about?
I wasn't ready, but he was trying to touch me.
He is your husband. He can touch you whenever you want.
Not that again. It's my body, and I'm the one to decide who can touch me or not.
Stop yelling. People will hear you.
But I don't care about people anymore. I did listen to you once, and that damaged me. I will not listen to you again.
Go to your husband's house. If you don't, you have no place to stay here.
It's fine. I'm an independent woman. I can survive on my own. Thus, the story, told and untold of thousands of women, portrays the transition from songs of innocence to experience.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 19 of Adda Nights with Maximus Muttaki, where we discuss the hot topic of the pandemic. We have a great episode for you today. We'll be discussing the new normal with a panel of distinguished guests, including famous artist and poet Mr. Anando Blake, poet rockstar Mr. Nahid Coleridge, author of Why Capitalism is Killing You, Dr. Monisha Tasnim, head of NGO Shobuz Dunia, Ms. Apshara Adhora, and finally, owner of Big Business Consulting, Ms. Nusrat. And we should be in for a hot talk. Without further ado, let's get started. Today, we will be discussing how we all have been affected by COVID-19 and the new normal. Let's start things off with Mr. Blake. Sir, you are the most senior of our panel. How have you dealt with the pandemic as an artist? How has it affected your profession?
I just finished a new poem called London. You see, I'm stuck here in London right now with some friends. Well, so I'm not that bored. And I'm also actually planning on shutting down my printing press and going to start a digital publication because apparently it is COVID friendly. So that's how I'm doing professionally, just adapting to the new normal. And let me also read a few lines from that new poem. In every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear, in every voice, in every band, the mind-forged manacles I hear.
A riveting poem only an experienced artist can produce. Speaking of artists, my next question is for Mr. Coleridge. How has the lockdown affected you? Did it hamper your creative process in any way?
You see, in respect to the current situation of the pandemic, I would like to relate it with the poem Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, where the mariner goes on a journey of crime and punishment and he gets redemption gradually. We are in the same situation now. And if you are telling me about the lockdown, it is not hampering me in any way. Rather, it is helping me to get close to nature and my family. And yes, I forgot about that. I am lacking opium.
I see. So the lockdown has allowed you more time with nature and less with drugs.
If I may interject, you see, drugs are a byproduct of capitalism. The hope these people at the top of this trade give to their dealers, and how this has led to so much violence.
I'd like to see how any one of you would survive if you didn't have businesses around. The world is basically made by us, and without us, you'd have little innovation, backdated technologies, less product to satisfy the consumers, and less money to survive in this expensive world. Only we make the reasonable and affordable products available for almost all people, and it is you that needs us in every steps in this world.
Okay, we obviously have some strong opinions about capitalism in this forum, but let's hear from Ms. Apshara about how the pandemic has affected nature.
Thank you for having me. So, as we all know, the pandemic is a crisis that affects everyone. My NGO, Shobuz Dikhan, has been tracking the environmental impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, and it is so bad. COVID-19 is the result of our sins, the corruption caused by society, illegal land grabbing, exploiting of natural resources, and the poor. It is often seen that businesses are harming our ecosystem. Our greed has brought the pandemic to our lives. Just think about the effect of masks and gloves. These products are not biodegradable. It takes forever to decompose. The waste created by masks and gloves is a concerning matter.
Bunch of hippies.
Simmer down, people. Let's take a break. Now is the perfect time to tell you guys about our sponsor, fooddonkey.com. Feed your munchies anytime, any place with fooddonkey.com. Have corona? No worries, fooddonkey.com will deliver straight to your door, no questions asked. The biggest app for food delivery, fooddonkey.com. Now back to our discussion. Let's take some questions from the audience. Ms. Zinnia, do you have a question for our panelists?
Yeah. So my question is for Mr. Coleridge. Mr. Coleridge, how are you so awesome? Your song Kubla Khan is one of my fav. I read somewhere you were high on opium when you wrote it. I like that drugs can be source of ideas. I don't encourage taking drugs, but if one can avoid addiction, then it can be useful. I mean, smoke up sometimes. It's practically illegal. Look at the bright side. It is basically medicine. Because of corona, the price of has skyrocketed. So, Mr. Coleridge, where do you stand on the use of stimulants?
For the common people, Opium might be a drug or some biochemical property, but for me, it is a literary stimulant that helps me to access the mortal realm beyond the mortal realm. And I wouldn't say that I was high when I wrote Kubla Khan. I just got into an imaginary world where I was Kubla Khan and dreamt of ruling the world.
We have a diehard fan here and some pretty controversial methods for creativity. We have a question from Ms. Rivino.
So, I think it's ridiculous to take drugs or opium for making anything creative or imaginative. Just look at Mr. Blake, who has prophesized everything, all of his arts and poems, songs of innocence and experience are connected with nature and human imagination. All of his works are finely divine. So, I have a question to ask Mr. Blake. What is the message in London when he said, the mind forced manacles idea?
Well, this one day I was walking down the lane and I saw how everyone was wearing their masks and they were fearing the proximity of each other. We have become the lamb facing the deadly jaws of the tiger, that is the COVID. So yeah, I believe that people have made a presence of their own doing, all in their minds, and that have manifested in the world as well. We are even having this meeting online instead of meeting in real life. And the corporate swines, they take full advantage of it. So we are indeed cuffed by these man-made manacles.
So you're saying we are cogs in the machine of capitalism, sir?
And this new normal is the oil that speeds them up.
I agree. Capitalists won't consider the laborers, how the workers get alienated from the products they make, whereby people fetishize over commodity. Some of us have the privilege to work from home, but many are going to unfamiliar territory to survive. Nature, our ecosystem is being destroyed by the need for conspicuous consumption while producing this divide between the poor and the rest of the world, the need to ascend upwards the scale of mobility and pursue sign exchange as your contribution to being a valuable, or shall I say profitable member of society.
It's easy to blame big businesses, but at the end of the day, you will come back to us when you want food, clothing, and vaccines. You think there would be a vaccine if businesses like mine didn't spend money? No, you people would die. We assure you the technology and comforts you are enjoying right now in exchange of our hard work. Profit is justifiable return. I think the vaccine should be expensive. Do you know how much money it takes to develop them? Science is not a cheap thing. The vaccine should be available only to those who can afford them, like me.
I disagree.
I agree with her. I agree with her.
Okay. Looks like that's all the time we have for today. We obviously have a lot of different opinions as to how the new normal came to be and what exactly it means to us. With everything, I'm sure we all have food for thought to chew on. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to leave us a like or comment below and subscribe to our channel. If you're hungry, please be sure to check out fooddonkey.com. Use the code COVIDSUCKS to get 15% off your first delivery. Thank you and goodbye.
If you've made it through this past year with faces full of smiles and eyes full of tears, then this is for you. The emotions we could not express and the words we could not say, and how we've learned to lock these emotions inside day by day. So let nature recycle and regain what has been lost. Save these beautiful souls at any given cost. With every journey we took, let us fly and let the sun burst out to the soaring sky. We rust in pain as we walk the streets alone, and the empty halls echo voices that are long gone. With solitude in heart, we chase the shadows of the past. These empty roads never call us back and remain alone at last. And as we loathe in pain, we remain betrayed, how can we forget that these emotions can never be portrayed?
From a cup of tea to a bit of smile, this was our life, and it was worth the while. Family, friends, it was all here, and our goal in life was crystal clear. From every walk on the road that led us nowhere. Now it's all gone, all that remained, and we wish to head back to what we once gained, with every moment that smiles that we cherish, in hopes that what we had would never perish.
Darkness. It consumes me to the point where I can't hear. All these deaths around me trigger hatred and fear. What has happened to this world and its people? With all legs to walk, but we have become crippled, locked inside my own house, hearing news of graves. All I want to do is go out. That's all my heart craves. Shackles in my mind, fear of the abyss. Will there ever be an end to this?
What have we become?
Is this what is normal now?
Is this how we end up?
No. Let us rise together and fight back.
Let us stand together and not alone. Let us leave all this behind and move on to a new year.
Let us walk out of darkness and embrace light.
Once upon a pandemic, there came a time when human beings were shackled by the fear of the unknowns. They were imprisoned in their minds in a place where they could not wander anymore, off into the magical dimensions that existed on Earth. After all, they were captivated in a world that was disconnected from the reality in which the dark thoughts and angst were the energies that dwelled within. Today, I am here to take you all in a very strange journey, a night when a few of the fellow creatures that walk on the earth come together into a unitary realization of how the horizon of the normal has shifted into something that they will now identify as the new normal. Let us now open the door to the abnormal.
In every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear, in every voice, in every bell, the mind-forged man calls I hear.
What is this strange place that I've been brought? Clock towers and factories everywhere, and it smells different, it feels different. Are those people? Greetings. Could I be courteous enough to tell me where I have been brought?
Oh, hello! You have come to the realm of the abnormal.
The abnormal. Would you care to dive further into the details?
Oh, you see, an entire pandemic has taken over the world, and we are but mere creatures going into the system where we have to cage ourselves and away from everyone.
Are such things done on Albion Shore?
Oh, very much so. We are now having to leave our lives from the very promises of our homes. Computers, what a lifesaver. You know those little devices that you were used to connect to the virtual world, but you knew that already.
They told me I had 5 senses to close me up, then close my infinite brain into a narrow circle.
Wait a minute. By the way that you are dressed, the tongue with which you speak, even your articulation is quite exquisite to the ear.
You must be one of the spirits from the world in search of the romantic manifesto still existing in this modern time. You must be William Blake.
You surely are a romantic, away from our time and farther away from our reality.
Love.
Mercy, pity, peace.
What? What is going on? Spirits? Ghosts? Blake? What the hell is going on?
William Blake was one of the greatest romantic poets of his time, expressing yearning for the sublime in nature. Blake envisioned an apocalyptic fear which the industrial age had brought about in the time of such disharmony. There has been a shift in the balance of universe, and spirits have found their ways through a crack in time to understand what lies within our determined reality of the new normal.
I wander through each chartered street, near where the chartered Thames does flow, and mark in every face I meet marks of weakness, marks of woe. I have no name, I am but 2 days old. What shall I call thee?
I am happy, joy is my name, sweet joy befall thee.
One command, one joy, one desire, one curse, one weight, one measure, one jot, one blow.
Amidst the conversation, there is a gust of wind and an eerie sensation creeps out in the atmosphere. The energy enveloping the conversation draws in yet another spirit from a faraway land.
For I was reared in the great city, pent with cloister's dim. And now the storm blast came, and he was tyrannous and strong. He struck with his overtaken wings, and chased us south along.
Plus, another spirit.
God save thee from the fiends that plague thee thus.
Are you the angel who has the bright key?
Calling the lapped soul and weeping in the evening dew, that might control the starry bowl and fallen light trimming.
Why look'st thou so? With my crossbow I shot the albatross.
Samuel Tyler Coleridge struggled with his own personal demons. His verses originated from opium-induced vision. He shoots the albatross as a symbol of the societal disconnectivity from reality, also signifying the transition of experience to higher experience, including the psychological transformation. The technological revolution that prompts a virtual world in the pandemic and create the disconnectivity. Without being in touch with nature or human soul, people ease to have individual conscious and individual consciousness to be subjects and hence become citizens.
The nightmare, life and death, was she who takes man's blood with cold.
Earth raised up her head from the darkness dread and drear. Her light fled, stony dread, and her locks covered with great despair.
What a coincidence in the abomination of an abnormal! Is this not painting by your hand?
Gods of the earth and sea sought through nature to find this tree, but their search was all in vain. There grows one in human brain.
Turn away no more. Why will thou turn away?
William Blake was a believer of passion over reason. He believed that to find answers, we need to give in to passion and connect ourselves with nature. In doing so, we will experience spiritual awakening, contradicting the painting of Blake's Newton. With people highly inclined towards science, the new normal gives way to spiritual blindness. The life in death cause people forcibly accept things the way they are, hence blindfolding themselves to the many truth of life. People are now connecting virtually, which gives the illusion of staying connected, but they're deprived of human touch that came as a predominant aspects of the pandemic. Hence, Blake ushers us to look beyond the fixated gaze on the ground and rise above the horizon.
Turn away no more. Break this chain. Turn away no more.
To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. O earth, return, turn away no more. The starry floor, the watery shore, gave thee life and bid thee feed.
The theme of the story, abnormality in the new normal, is a crisis that brings our passion all together and at the same time detaches us from one another. The work represents the spirit of the romantics that endures within all of us. Everything seems to be possible the way romantics think. They introduce us to a new realm of life where the romantic spirit all around us is deeply imbued. According to them, we have become an individual striving towards an uncertainty. Someday far into the future, when we shall grow old, if someone asks us, "Hey, weren't you the part of the pandemic or the abnormal?" we shall be able to tell in a positive composure that, yes, we were the part of the storm of courage and fought against the odds, bringing about a positive dynamic to the world.
It has been a month since the angel left Pelayo and Alessandra's two-story mansion. It was Alexander who had been evident to see Angel flying away long until he had turned into a dot. Yet, something was troubling her. It was as if the angel had fled away from the home, but he had left its spirit behind, and it kept reminding her the angel is still there. She could not get it off her mind until one day she was approaching by the chicken coop she heard someone talking. Immediately it reminded her about the angel, but that cannot be it. She saw him fly away. Her curious mind took no longer time and peeped through it, seeing it was her own son. Her son was inside the chicken coop and talking to as if it was an imaginary friend. But she did not disclose this to anyone lest this news will spread in the whole village and their family will turn into a circus show in no time. But one incident made her certain that the angel has done something to her son. "Oh, my son, what happened? Are you looking for someone?" "No, mother." "Then why are you looking at the sky?" "I was just wondering how the skies are holding the stars." Alessandra decided to go to the old woman who previously helped her regarding the angel's problem. Alessandra to old woman. "How's your physical condition?" Old woman. "You know, I'm an old woman. I'm just living my life somehow. How about you? You seem to be disturbed." Alessandra. Yes, I am here to share a problem about my son. Previously you said that the angel came to take my son. But now when the angel has left, my son seems to talk to him. He murmurs something abnormal in his sleep. We couldn't understand. Old woman. But why are you so concerned about this matter? This will bring a good fortune to you, don't you think? As you earned a lot of money using the angel, you should do the same with your son. Alessandra. But he's my own son. How can I do this to him? Old woman. Why are you talking this seriously? People will just take him as a form of an entertainment as they did with the angel. Alessandra. But I won't do this with him. One request. Please, please don't share this with anyone. Please. 1 week later. A lot of people gathered in front of Pelayo's house to see their boy. It turned out that the old woman could not keep the request of Elisanda. Elisanda and Pelayo somehow managed the crowd and sent them back home this time. But the very next day they were all present. The crowd was a lot more than yesterday. They made a chaos to see the child's strange activities. This time Elisanda and Pelayo could not send them back home. Therefore, to make them leave, they decided to give a glimpse of their son to the crowd. The show started. The boy sat on the chair, but he did not do anything. The crowd became impatient and furious and started screaming that they were being deceived. Suddenly, a boy threw a stone towards Elisander's boy. At this point, Elisanda realized how they treated the old angel. All their deeds came back at them through their children. After a few days, some parents in the village also noticed that their children were also talking to someone which they cannot see. They thought that perhaps the angel has cursed their children and restricted their children to stay at home. Some time later, a teacher was appointed in the village. He observed some of the parents did not allow their children to go to school. After visiting the houses and hearing the fear of the parents, the teacher understood where the problem is. He said that the children were talking to their imaginary friend, and it's completely normal for a child to have an imaginary friend. He also mentioned that as many as 65% of children up to age 7 had an imaginary friend. The parents finally understood that having an imaginary friend is a healthy form of childhood play. It is not something called abnormal.
Staring numb at the frightening future my father has forcefully pushed me into to flatter the falsity of this fake society. Every inch of my physique is crying with the pain of disgust. My skin is begging for the rouse to stop. But yet, I give up. And thus, I decide to end the suffering, like many women did all these years to end theirs. Be it kitchen things from Susan Glassbell's trifle or aqua tofana made by Gulia Tofana to stop the gut-wrenching tortures of these abusive men. I will master with his own weapon and end his masculinity. Free him, free myself, break the chains of this perfectly normal society and set every single soul free who he has ever abused. Without any wrinkles of justice on their foreheads, the abused are doing the tasks those were assigned to them in cradles. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes of itself, I too do rise above all the hurt ever done to me. The abused looks at me, blank, impressed, or numb. Maybe a dream which was never fulfilled. The shouts which were mummed before, my shouts of pain, the shouts are mummed again too. But today they were out of pleasure, empowerment, and my freedom. Being my own paladin, I decide to behead the fictitious structure of a guardian in disguise of Belial. But was I the only rebel here, or was there another knight in the shining armor who too used the symbol of masculinity to end it? There was, and this combination is deadly because these goddesses will rise above the fire together to save each other and end the devilry.
What is normal and what is abnormal is set by the ones who hold power, and it changes with time. But do these changes occur considering betterments of human beings? Or does it occur just to serve the ones who hold power? Now we will watch a small act related to it. Hi Husna, can you just quickly drop by Sir's room? He has been looking for you.
Notice this new lady, Husna? Oh my god. She must have put some spin on the boss. Never seen before such a junior employee getting this much attention in this office.
You are absolutely right, my friend. Who knows, maybe she does some witchcraft. Did you notice the amount of makeup she puts? Such a cunning lady. Always trying to get male attention. If we were women, we could also get more advantages like this.
Husna is coming this way.
So, dear Husna, why are you looking so happy?
Our boss is assigned me in the new project. I'm so happy.
Wow, really? Congratulations, madam. Looks like our boss is little impressed with your work. May I say your beauty?
I agree with you, brother. Keep it up, Husna madam. Just keep the boss happy. If you know what I mean.
Don't you guys feel ashamed to say such things? I deserve whatever recognition I get. I work extremely hard for it. Both of you know that's very well. But maybe my success hurts your toxic male ego? No? Every time you see a woman succeed, you question her worth.
It was just a joke, Husna. Stop acting so much.
Really? A joke? Doesn't your own wife work in a corporate office too? Ask her once. Maybe she also suffers from toxic male colleagues like you.
Women, as an inferior gender in patriarchal societies, have always been the victim of this prejudice. Even though with time the expected roles of women have changed, but the idea of having control over women didn't entirely go away. Taib Salih's Season of Migration to the North similarly portrays the cruelty towards women through the character named Husna, an unusually brave woman who believes and fights for her right to choose whom to marry. Even though the novel is set in a Sudanese society during the 1960s, Husnas of the 20th century are still fighting similar battles. Taib Salih created the character of Husna to break the stereotypes of submissive women in Sudanese society. Husna is considered abnormal in a society where women are referred as quote-unquote sisters of devil and can't even choose whom to marry. As Husna stands up against the misogynistic violence she faces, it takes away her life as a consequence, and due to patriarchal stereotypes, the people of the village can't even empathize for her. Women these days don't face similar issues, but are they entirely free from the pressure to fit the criteria of an ideal woman? And doesn't society still consider women ideal and moral only when they are domesticated and submissive? Lastly, it can be said that the categorization of the normal and the abnormal exists to serve the power structure, and it changes along with the ones in power. Thank you.
Hello everyone, Happy New Year! Hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to connect the CA theme, the normal, the abnormal and the new normal with two different characters from two different stories. The Town of Cats and A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings. A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings was written by Gabriel Garcia Marquez in 1995. The story is about Leo and his wife who found a very different creature near the seashore, an old man with wings. As the old man was unfamiliar to the village people and even wasn't able to speak or respond, the village people take him as a joke. On the other hand, Town of Cats has been written by Haruki Murakami. The short story is about a young man named Tango. Tango goes through his imagination where he was taken to a city of cats. There he related the cats with the barrier of communication where the cats can speak and understand each other. So we are making the two characters, the cat and the very old man, to me. So now it's time for enjoying the act. Thank you.
Cat is walking on the street. Suddenly sees something lying on the ground. Curiously, it goes near to that thing and found that it's an old man with enormous wings.
Who are you? Meow.
Who do you think I am?
You're looking like a human.
I am an angel.
Are you? It doesn't seem so.
I landed here from the sky. I'm not a human as you see. I have wings, which they don't have, and they don't even realize who I am.
What makes you think like that? What happened?
They treated me like a circus animal. I was trapped in a chicken coop, and I was neglected. They threw stones at my feathers. They tried to burn my feathers to check whether I am alive or not. Even the priest thinks that I am a devil figure. What do you think? Do I look like an evil or an angel?
You are an angel? But having wings does not make you an angel. We're old and ragged. For humans, angels are the beauty of heaven. They are considered to have the appealing features of grace and charm. Even your words are not understandable and clear to humans because you do not respond nor speak. Meow.
Then how did you understand my words?
I am a divine creature like you. That's why I am understanding you.
Do I look normal or abnormal?
Look at me. I am huge than normal cats. And I can even speak like humans. You know, normal cats do not speak like me and they're not as big as me. I am huge than them and I can speak like humans. So my features are abnormal than normal cats. In that perspective, you are normal too. The stigmatization of our abnormalities will be normal when the abnormalities will prevail. You know, old man, it's the society who determines what is abnormal and normal. Meow.
Now that we saw the old man with wings speaking our language, we can portray him in our category of being normal. Yet, those pair of wings with the ragged appearance questions whether we are in doubt to address him as an angel or a filthy wild creature. On the other hand, it took a supernatural element like the cat to understand and intervene the winged old man, whereas cats are known as cute animals who prowls around and does not have the ability to communicate. And we see it to be totally normal for us. So now we know that it is the society and the gaps set in our mind that shapes what is normal and what is abnormal.
Like the CA theme, our concept of the old man is abnormal to the reactions of human, but was completely normal for the cat. In a nutshell, the wingman is treated very poorly by the human. Now we know where our expectations lie. It is where we lost our vision as we habituated categorizing our vision. As the normal is not fixed and there are chances that we will change our way of taking abnormal things, there is hope for the new normal. Finally, it would be possible if we believe to change the definition of angels in our perspective. Thank you everyone for watching our presentation.
Grey Hearted presents Oblivion. In the novella Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, both Kurtz and Fresleven die and Marlowe returns to the Imperial Center in Belgium from Congo. Although Marlowe realized about the underlying imperial darkness and both good and evil lies within everyone, he helplessly conforms to the socially constructed colonial beliefs as nobody except he has experienced it and nobody would believe in his words. If Marlowe, Kurtz and Fresleven met again, how well do you think their conversation would go? What will they do? Will it be a normal conversation? How do you categorize a normal conversation? Okay, let's find out.
Wow! What?
Hey, fellows! Although you are an inch closer to face the final judgment, the Association of Judgment has decided that you, along with some other people, will be selected to go to Earth for only 24 hours to fulfill the most important duties you had unfinished before your deaths. Now get lost! No!
What? Judgment? Wait.
Now they are back at Brussels in Belgium.
Mr. Kurtz, our pride, our hero has returned.
Get away, you Belgian murderer! The horror!
Kurtz? Fresleven? How are you alive after death? Today one of my aunt came to my door saying, "Remember me? I died 30 years ago." I mean, what is happening? Wait. Let me contemplate.
No, Marlowe. Don't go to your inconclusive mode anymore. Otherwise, the next sailors who hears your story will commit suicide.
Two random strangers are observing them.
They sound like Fresleven, Kurtz and Marlowe from the book I'm currently reading, Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad.
Well, you're not wrong.
You dare to tell me what is right, Fresleven? What happened to your civility when you lost your temper and acted so abnormally back in Congo? Did the doctor not measure your head and warn you?
The bargain. Those black savages plotted against me and killed me. Because that was the only way they could win against a civilized person. But now, I must win a bargain of buying hens. Dokan koi? Hey mama, murgi koto? How much are these hens? কমে দিবেন নালে কিন্তু
আরে বনি করার সময় বিরক্ত কইরেন না তো 160 টাকা কেজি একদম
ওই
You have gone completely mad, Fresleven. And Kurtz, what happened to you, man? Your fascination of abomination has turned into fascination of exploitation. At least you should think of your intended now. She, like a ghost, keeps on muttering, "My glorious Kurtz, my altruistic Kurtz," all day long. Come, let's go to the civilized city and reveal to everyone the darkness of imperialism. Come on, let's go.
Who says you that the imperial rhetoric is false? Why do you think my countrymen respect me? This is because I am indulged with the greatest work of killing the savages, civilizing them, and extracting ivory. This fuels our future of progression. I love the sense of power in Congo.
Why are heroes acting so abnormal, like they are obsessed with killing savages and buying hens?
Don't you think your question itself is abnormal? Before going to the colonized land of Congo, their ego or conscious mind was filled with socially constructed rules and regulations. However, the wilderness and lack of control in Congo
forced their aggressive drives and selfish desires in it to come out, and from then on, they're acting like savages.
Ah, Sigmund Freud. But they still sound abnormal to me.
Comrades, please help me to fulfill my last wish of buying hens. মামা সময় নাই বেশি কত রাখবেন লাস্ট প্রাইস কত
Are forget about hens. Go to Belgian Congo first and bury your own rotted body. And you, Mr. Horror, don't even think of going back to that dysfunctional colonized land. The manager is already fixing his barbecue machine with rivets to grill your body and feed those savages. By the way, over whom do you intend to exercise your power? Those savages? Don't forget, you yourself acted like a savage when you crawled down the boat like a snake and went back to the wilderness. Who knows why?
Better are you? We're all colonizers, my comrade. And didn't you act like a restless savage when you flung off your shoe offboard because there was a fireman's blood onto it? How dare a mosquito bite a hero?
Why are they trying to prove each other savages? Can imperial rhetoric be false?
Actually, we are all savages in our own abnormal worlds. Marlowe threw away his bloody boots because he feared human quality among the colonized people. Through Kurtz, Marlowe wants to reveal this realization to the whole world, but it will not work out because imperial rhetoric runs through people's blood.
But the way you are describing, you are sounding abnormal to me now.
Continuously trying to normalize your abnormal state of mind has become a new normal reality for me. And for Frisleben, bargaining for hens has become the new normal reality. Now, as it has not been satisfied, he might end up
killing you all. You did not help me bargaining. Now die.
No. Frisleben, I'm still not dead, yaar. I'll give you all the hens. I'll bury your body. No. Marlowe dies for the first time. Normal.
Don't dare to kill me! That's why I love Congo! The horror! No!
Kurtz dies for the second time. Abnormal.
And your time is over too, Frisleben.
No, you are not the god. Ivory is the god. Bargaining is a religion. And hens are my love. No!
Frisleben is taken back for the second time. Normal, not normally, abnormal. How to categorize it? What the fuchka?
Well, it's my time to go. My name is David, by the way, and you are?
Oh, hi David. This is Joseph Conrad. You can say they are the art and I am the artist.
What?
What would you do if the apocalypse takes place right now?
What?
Apocalypse? The second coming?
Dude, I think you're taking Kaiser's course way too seriously.
Hypothetically, you know.
Well, I'm sure you know it's not religiously, but secularly based on apocalypse, which means end of civilization.
Oh, okay. So, what do you think about civilization? As in, is it good or bad?
Chaotic, I would say that way.
Yeah, but you also gotta agree that without civilization, there wouldn't be any rules and regulations in this world, right?
Really? Rules? As if we are all maintaining all the rules. Where's your mask, huh?
Sorry, it's just... Yeah, but you also gotta agree, like without civilization and industrialization, we wouldn't have cell phones, and without cell phones, there will be any online classes.
Yeah, that is why you're wearing those specs, which is adding 5 pounds to your body. So, how's your love life? Did you tell her that you love her?
Blah. I'm a bit shy.
Huh. You remind me of Prufrock.
How?
The poem vividly accentuates the modern casualties in communication, procrastination, just like you.
Well, I'll tell her when the time is right.
And get your heart broken? Yeah, I think you should. At least you'll have the epiphany that way.
I'm happy with whatever I have. I'm basically following the Greek philosophy of Epicureanism. Happy with whatever I have. This is similar to, eating plums. So delicious, so sweet, and so cold.
This is just to say, man, you're so positive all the time.
That is how it should be. The world is a very beautiful place that we should all appreciate.
Beautiful? Can't you see all these deaths, rapes, domestic violences happening in this pandemic?
Yeah, but the pandemic has also filled the gaps between people, right? Like, the families are closer, the loved ones are together, people are getting more innovative.
People are depressed, committing suicides.
Pollution is less, animals and foods are safer.
Prices are high, people don't get proper sanitization.
Value of life is increased. People are much more concerned about each other.
The world is the horror.
The world is oh love, oh love.
You're unbelievable.
Hey, calm down. Wait, I have something for you. Just calm down. Kit Kat. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. Dude! What are you doing?
Yikes. Sorry.
Gazing up into this sanitized Kit Kat, I see myself as a creature driven by and derived by vanity, and my eyes burn with anguish and anger.
Arabi? You're always in a fun mood. Positive, comedic all the time.
And you're always negative. Try seeing things normally. Sometimes.
No, you should start things abnormally. I mean, that's how we explain the world we live in.
You know what? Just the normal and the abnormal are in the past. We should focus on the new normal.
Remember what Chime Asunai said? There's nothing new in the new normal.
I think to study the abnormal is the best way to understand the normal.
I think we both need both the normal and the abnormal. There's nothing new in the normal, new normal.
The adaptation and the coping with both the normality and the abnormality together is the new normal.
Come to think of it, you're not that stupid.
Yes. You know what? It's okay not to be okay sometimes.
And it's okay to be okay sometimes as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to quickly introduce myself. I'm Mai Shazam from 182, and I am accompanied by... Our project concerns making a blog, which is supposed to be a journal for Pip from Charles Dickens's Great Expectations. It accounts about his life and adventures in Egypt as an Englishman. As you may know, at the end of the novel, Pip goes away to Egypt to work as a clerk in Herbert's business, and then he returns after 11 years. But we barely have any detail about it. For example, there are a few chapters from the book that we get some references about his trip, particularly in the last chapter from the book, and I have included some references to make it easier. But that's basically it. That's how we aimed to fill in these gaps and made this blog to document and continue Pip's journey. Moreover, we also try to incorporate some aspects of Orientalism into our work, particularly in this case, since Pip is a 19th century man, and during that era, this ideology was at its peak. Anyway, we want to take you into this journey and show Pip's experience, transformation, and feelings about Egypt and the Orient. So before we begin, I'd like to quickly go over the blog functions or navigation to show how we did this and how it really works. So first of all, this is the type of posts that we can make into this blog, and we primarily focused on photo posts since photos makes the blog more appealing, and so it can pop up, and we can do a little bit of world building as well. And these are the blog posts, of course. You can edit it here, and these are the heart or like buttons in the reblog. This basically functions like Twitter retweets and likes. Now that we have a better understanding, let's go to the main blog. So this is the real blog that you're supposed to see when you visit it. And these are our entries. And here we have the home button, which redirects you to the dashboard or the homepage that you have seen here. And of course, here is the archive button, which shows the archive of all the posts that have been made on any specific month. In this case, January. These are the 6 entries that we have made and posted chronologically as well. So, and if you haven't noticed, we also included these bits of extracts and quotes from books and poems so that it better capture the theme of each entry. And we also made sure that the dates are in order, and we even matched it with the real calendar from the 1840s. And so now that you all have a better understanding of the blog, navigation, and functions, then I believe we can start our presentation. And so without further ado, let's begin.
It's about his experience in the streets of Cairo. In our blog, we conceptualized Pip's time in Egypt, which we know he went to during the latter parts of the novel Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. We keep in mind what it would have been like for someone from his economic and national background. With the British Empire at that time being one of the largest in history, Egypt was not just a foreign country, it was one of the countries colonized by the British Empire. Egyptian life and culture must have come as a shock, with Egypt being a foreign civilization and Egyptian culture being one of the oldest in the history. Pip may have learned about some of it given his gentlemanly education, but living life there would not have been the same as learning about it in a book. So it must have taken Pip some time to adjust to the new normal of life in Egypt.
From what we see from Charles Dickens's original novel, things never went quite the way Pip expected it. Sometimes others disappointed him, sometimes he disappointed himself. Eventually, Pip ended up leaving everything behind and started a new life in Egypt. Here, we tried giving him a new love interest and showed that life for him did not just fly away in 11 years. There were also other courtships and trials for him when it comes to relationship. The log of 1843 October documents the time when Pip met a French woman named Jeanne Beaumont in Cairo. He started hoping for a new future with her, despite all the heartbreaks and disappointment he suffered in the past. There is also a hint of subtle and subconscious colonial superiority seen in Pip when he refuses to show any weakness in front of the Cairnese man. This document overall documents Pip's desire for a new beginning.
Changes in family and social ritual was taking place. Social etiquette was becoming extremely important to all social classes. Books reading and costumes and behavior of the aristocracy were published so that the middle class would be able to learn and practice intricacies accordingly. In journal, we see a reflection of the same, and then I relate with my journal reminiscence, and also with the normal abnormal theme and state the connection. In reminiscence, we see Pip's remorse not treating Joe with equal affection. He is able to understand his follies better after removing his blindfolded call, the Great Expectation. We could say that because he is always from the Victorian society of England, where money and social class were taking place the upper hand over relationship. Climb up the social ladder by forsaking their relationship.
New Beginning, which deals with his love interests. They are Stella, his past, and his could have been present Miss Jeanne Beaumont. So, as it goes in this journal, Pip talks to a portrait of Stella, to be more precise, about how he's not going to pursue her or keep himself immersed in her memories any longer and instead move on in his life with Miss Beaumont, who is actually a reflection of her in her physical features, but a better person in her heart. So that is a basic summary of my journal. Miss Beaumont met Pip's expectations because she reflected Stella in some ways, and Pip didn't meet Miss Beaumont's expectations because he was searching for his ex in her, which is not normal, which is completely an abnormal thing in her perspective, that is Miss Beaumont.
Now my entry, the Grand Bazaar, is where I tried to show Pip's fascination with the Grand Bazaar. Now Pip was so much enthralled upon seeing the Grand Bazaar, setting his foot in the Grand Bazaar, that he was numb at a certain point. His fascination was so much by seeing the different spices, the intricate designs of the carpets, that he was numb. The Grand Bazaar is not just a symbol of Orient. It symbolizes the Orient, and it symbolizes also the Orient, the international skimming, the trade, and also the exotic items found there. As I've already mentioned, the spices, the carpets, and there are many other things to be look at. But specifically, why am I saying that? It's because Europeans come here for the name of trade, but gradually upon their staying and doing their trade, they inherit the idea of colonization and exploitation. Now, if you would notice, the name Sharif Ali itself is a tribute to the legendary Egyptian actor Omar Sharif and his portrayal of Sharif Ali in the classic film Lawrence of Arabia.
An invitation from Sharif Ali deals with the cross-cultural interaction between the East and West, as symbolized by Sharif and Pip. It also highlights their friendship and gives a glimpse into Egyptian hospitality. So Pip would have been staying in Egypt for a few years now. So obviously it is safe to assume that there are many things that would seem foreign and unimaginable to him, but through time he would have been adapted to it by now and even make local friends. That's how I believe it links to how the abnormal or foreign starts to become normal once you start to adapt and become habituated to it. This is especially true for Pip and Herbert's case, since they are merchants and businessmen, and to them, understanding and adapting to the local culture was necessary, not only for their personal gain, but also for their success. And that's how I also wanted to show Pip and Sharif breaking cultural barriers by coming together and sharing a feast together here in this entry. The journal highlights themes such as colonialism, cross-cultural interactions, relationships, and even trade and commerce during the Victorian era, especially through Pip's point of view as an English settler in Egypt. Well, Dickens made it seem like his life was static and unhappening in Egypt, as if it didn't even exist. But it shouldn't be so. And that's why we wanted to flesh it out, bring more life to it, and display how he went through a huge transformation and evolved as a person as a result of his experiences in Egypt. And so thank you so much for being here with us. This has become more than a presentation for us because now it's like a passion project, and we would love it very much if you can visit our blog here at pipinegypt.tumblr.com. We have put a lot of hard work and dedication into this, not to mention the research we have done and learned so much about Egyptian culture. So please do visit us and leave any likes or reblogs there, and we would really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Inventions are inevitable forces that shaped every era. The Victorian era, which started from 1837 and ended around 1901, was a major nail down in the wall of development and inventions. The blooming new world of industrialization changed people's mindset in all aspects. The normals that we cherish today, the light bulbs, typewriters, sewing machines, and radios, were the new normal of that era. Humans started to get replaced by machines, just the same way technology is overtaking our course today. The acceptance was rather harsh because many faced unemployment, but at the end, transitioning from normal to a new normal was not that abnormal after all. Industrialization was a silver lining back then, and now technology is our brand new silver lining. However, the dark cloud of pandemic, which beholds a pool of depression, suppression, fear, loss of life, and loss of jobs, still remains afresh. Humans are juggling the normal, abnormal, and new normal all at once, just like the Victorian times. The light may shine through once we find the way to balance it all together with harmony.
The progression graph line for human life is immense during the Victorian era. The rise of machineries, industries, and technology is a prominent aspect of the era, and with all this prosperity, money became the focal point for the people, and the upper class got richer, and also the middle class got a fresh taste of money. However, the lower class drowned deeper into agony and the new pole of industrialization. And somehow, machines replacing human labor, and it's a clear indicating towards the value of humans. And human importance became almost negligible, and the hunger for money saw the new extremes. Moreover, materialistic rush was vividly evident in most of the people. The economic power play had a giant role in shaping lines. As a result, the lower class people became puppet of the capitalist society.
Moreover, knowledge is interrelated to power, and they established disciplinary powerhouse to control the common people. For example, the upper class people, politicians, and intellectuals are practicing power through money. And in the same way, if today's world is taken into consideration, we can see that our new normal is no different. And the vaccine priority list is a clear reflection for what is considered normal and abnormal. For example, if the vaccine will arrive in Bangladesh, firstly, it will distribute to the first-class officers, politicians, and businessmen because they contain that power. As a result, common people are ignoring. And the priority category that rises during the mass disease spread is a clear reflection of what a society considers as a normal, abnormal, and new normal.
In every 100 year or two, the whole world experiences through a deadly disease and learns to get shaken up in their normal life with an abnormal disease, and this creates a new era for readjustments, creating a new normal all over again. For coronavirus is not the only pandemic the world faced. There is another one raging right now, the king cholera. Since cholera first spread across the globe, During Victorian era, it has killed about 50 million people until now, and still counting. Hence, dealing with these abnormal situations, people have learned to adopt many new ways leading to the new normal. During the first outbreak in 1838, 55,000 people died in England. But for that, doctors came up with better and more hygienic ways to diagnosis, and people got to learn about the value of clean water. Just like King Cholera, creating consciousness about which water to drink, the novel corona has created consciousness about physical contacts and awareness about which air to breathe in. But I worry that we may repeat the same mistakes of cholera, conquering coronavirus everywhere except for the poorest part of the New World. This is now mostly ignored in the West, but in other parts of the world, it has never gone away. Both of the diseases are cursed to isolate an individual, which may shift the balance in human psyche.
Starting in China in late 2019 and spreading to the rest of the world early last year, this global coronavirus pandemic has changed almost every facet of life as we know it and has shaken to the core our conceptions of what is normal and abnormal. Such simple acts such as spending time with friends and family have somehow become taboo and stigmatized, although many unfortunately don't see it as such, and behaviors such as staying at home all day and not physically interacting with others, once seen as antisocial, is now seen as almost heroic. However, the social isolation that circumstances forced upon us comes with its own price. Although some amount of isolation can be useful for self-reflection and introspection, such lengthy isolation can breed in us a sense of alienation and disconnect from the world. Like Pip in Great Expectations when he goes to Egypt, it is an entirely new world for us, albeit physically being the same. It is important we use the time that we spend with ourselves to be kind to ourselves and others and adjust to the new normal in healthy ways, staying in touch with friends and family, if not physically but over the internet, to reduce the pressures of isolation that we and our loved ones face.
And hence is why Shakespeare is the greatest writer of all time, at least in my opinion. With that being said, class, this concludes the final syllabus. With that being said, please do not try to fail in the exam because I will not be delighted to have you here a second time, or at all. Goodbye.
Teacher, you were supposed to tell us a story.
A story.
Yeah, a story. You were supposed to tell us a story when we were done with the syllabus.
Sit down, oh you beautiful enthusiasts of the fine literature arts, for I will now indulge you in a great story. This story was set in the Victorian era where the innovations were prime and London being the heart of all power, rather than the American government. In fact, this story is about none other than my great-great-great-great-grandmother, Susie.
Susie was not like your everyday Victorian lady. She wanted to be more. She wanted to be a strong, independent woman. However, her father did not share the same ideals.
Susie! Dear daughter, please come to here my office.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, dear daughter. How are you?
Fine, Dad. Dad, you have been working really hard.
Yeah, I've been really working hard since morning. So, I have really important things to tell you. Like, you know Mr. John? We met him at Stephen's birthday party last year.
Yes.
So, here is the thing. I like Mr. John's son very much. His name is Edgar. And I think you and Mr. Edgar will make a fairly very good couple. What do you think about that?
Dad, I just finished my education. I'm at the ending. And I don't plan to get married so early. I want to work.
What? You want to work? What?
Remember, Dad, listen to me. Remember Andrew? He was talking that they're enrolling some typewriters. So, Dad, I really want to work there. He was like, you have a very nice typing skill. And I will be really grateful if you join my office. And I was really looking forward to tell you that. Dad, please.
Listen to me first. You are 21 and a half. This is the high time to get married, having kids. This is the right opportunity. No, don't lose this opportunity. Here I am making you a mistake. Are you talking about being an employee and working for others? Really? Listen, if you become a mistress, you can make people work for you. You know that?
Dad, can you just listen to me for once? I have always listened to you. You told me how to be a proper mistress, how to learn, how to do household work. I know everything. That just 1 year. Can you just spare me 1 year? I really want to work in this office. I promise you, if I don't succeed in 1 year, you can get me married.
And so the deal was struck. However, the same principle did not apply to her brother.
Father? Father!
Here comes my gem. Tell me, son, what it is. What makes you so happy?
I have a great news for you, Father.
Wow. Tell me, son, what it is. What is the great news you're talking about?
I have got a job as an editor in this newspaper.
You got the job? Really? Let me see the folder. Excellent. Excellent, son.
And so the gender discrimination was as clear as day. However, Susie was determined to fight on, and so she studied until she landed a very respectable position as one of the best typewriters the country had to see. And this caught the eye of my great grandfather.
Hey there, I heard a lot about you. If I'm not wrong, I think you are Susie, right?
Yes, I am. May I know who you are?
And that would be my great grandfather, Stephen.
I'm Stephen, and I'm working as a manager in a mill factory.
I see.
If you don't mind, may I share my feelings with you, my dear?
If it means so much to you, then of course you can tell me about your feelings.
Oh, so to be honest, I'm actually looking for a girl like you for my marriage. So when I heard about you, I was stunned and became so happy that a girl like Susie is so hardworking.
And hence, he proposed, attracted to none other than the hard-working personality of dear Susie. And so, Susie pondered and pondered, deciding on this proposal if whether to say yes or to say no. She obviously did say yes, but it did not make her any less a successful and independent woman in the Victorian age. And then they lived happily ever after. And thus concludes the story. And so you see, class, this is what you would classify as a Victorian era story, where the oppression and the inequality of women are very much present. Now, this story is far from ending. It actually continues to their son, who is my great grandfather, and how he fought in World War I. But that is a story for another time.
Linguistic Nerds presents The Conquering Power of Specific Usage of Language. This play shows how using language in a certain way in specific situations can help people constructing normal and abnormal situations, and it also subtly critiques the social norms and etiquettes regarding language usage, relationships, and behavior through a fictional and online classroom conversation between a teacher and his students.
Okay.
Hello everyone! Welcome to the last class of this trimester, and next week you have your finals. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
What? Finals? Oh, we know.
What do you know?
These are all just strategies to take fees as early as possible.
Present, sir.
Hey! What strategies are you talking about? And what present, sir? Wake up! Go and sanitize your face. Wash your face. And you all must behave like a normal, well-behaved student in my class.
Okay.
Okay, I had given you all an assignment on the topic how specific use of language in specific situations with certain lexical items helps a speaker establishing normality for himself or herself and abnormality for the hearer. You know that we use language in a certain way to manipulate a targeted audience. Therefore, understanding speech acts and performative verbs is very important. You see, speech act simply means that an utterance or a specific performative verb is acted out through the meticulous usage of language. Performative verbs are verbs such as to request, command, threatening, complimenting, etc. When we hear them, we cannot actually judge them in terms of complete truth or falsity, because the illocutionary force or the intention of the speaker might be very different in different contexts. For instance, if someone uses the performative verb to request and asks someone, "Could you please lend me some money? I need them urgently. I'll give it back to you as soon as I get the money." You see, in this very sentence, there is an implicit illocutionary force to request, and this sentence sounds really very polite. But what is going on inside the speaker's mind might be very different. জীবনও ফেরত দিব না টাকা। আমার ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজের জাদুই ওর ইমোশনকে কাবু করে ফেলবে আর আমার টাকা দিয়ে দিবে। And if the speaker cannot make an emotional impact on the listener might say, আসছে টাকা চাইতে, জীবনও ফেরত দিবে না, এক টাকাও দিব না ওরে আমি। না ভাই, আসলে মাসের শেষ তো, টাকা নাই আসলে, সরি। Now, the speaker's situation is abnormal as he or she did not expect it. But if he or she can successfully persuade and make an emotional impact on the hearer, he or she might say, হায় হায়, এত বিপদগ্রস্ত মানুষের অর্থের প্রয়োজন, যদি আমি না দেই, আমি ঈশ্বরকে কিভাবে মুখ দেখাবো? বাবা মা ছেলে ভাই বোন আত্মীয় স্বজনদের কিভাবে মুখ দেখাবো? এনে ভাই টাকা, আয় ভাই বুকে আয়। So you see how important it is to understand speech acts and performative verbs. Okay, let's start with Benazir. What do you have for us, Benazir? Have you brought your assignment?
না করলে তো আপনি পিটাই মাইরা লইবেন।
How many times I've told you to not use your local dialect, speak in standard, normal English so that we all can understand.
So, we all know that declarative speech acts are the type of utterance that will change the external world by affecting the hearer either positively or negatively. For example, your boss says, "You are fired." This will hurt you, but this will change your life.
Oh my god, what happened? Why are you crying?
Sir, my mother used declarative speech act to make my life completely abnormal. See it yourself. আম্মু, বড় ভাইয়া তো পড়ালেখা করছে, চাকরি করছে, প্রেম করে বিয়ে করছে। আমিও তো তোমার অনেক ভালো স্টুডেন্ট, আমি পড়ালেখা করি, অনেক ভালো রেজাল্ট করি, আমার এখন অনেক ভালো ভালো জবের অফার আসতেছে। তাই আমি বলতে চাচ্ছিলাম কি যে আমি না অর্নিক ছেলেটাকে খুব বেশি ভালোবাসি, আমি ওকেই বিয়ে করবো। আম্মু তুমি না করো না প্লিজ, প্লিজ আম্মু প্লিজ না করো না।
কি বললি? প্রেম করে বিয়া করবি? স্কুলে পাঠাইছে, ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পড়াইছি প্রেম করার জন্য? আত্মীয় স্বজনদের কি মুখ দেখাবো? পাড়ার প্রতিবেশীরা কি বলবে? বেয়াদব কোথাকার, আবার টাকায় আসছে এমনি। যা সর এখান থেকে, আমরা যার সাথে বলছি তার সাথে তোর বিয়ে হবে।
So first, as a Parrhasiast, Benazir used Parrhasia to frankly persuade her mother to give her the freedom to marry whoever she wants. However, her mother believes that there is nothing better than arranged marriage. Therefore, her mother used her authoritative power to force Benazir to agree to marry the boy they will choose for her using the performative word or verb to order implicitly as an implicit declarative illocutionary force. You see, it is similar to the Assertive Speech Act, through which speakers try to claim and constitute facts and try to manipulate people using certain lexical items. Even now, politicians are trying to normalize this abnormal situation of corona by stating, claiming and saying things like, After hearing this statement, intellectual peoples would react. Ordinary people like us will react to it.
Mama, corona shesh. আজকে থেকে chill shuru.
And poor helpless people who cannot but go out for work will react.
এইজ গেল কলেরা গেল মানে বসন্ত গেল হন্দাইলো কি করলা ভাইরাস
Now you see how certain lexical items can be used in specific situation to create a big impact. Now, Adnan, how are you? Okay, tell me one thing before you begin. At current time, you can do everything from home. Then why can't you sleep at night properly?
Sir, this epidemic has completely ruined my sleep cycle. But sir, whenever I come to your class, I mysteriously fall asleep. So if you can take the class at 12 a.m. midnight, I think I might be able to sleep at correct time, sir.
Stop this nonsense. Show us what you have brought. Who uses this local dialect? Use normal English language, Adnan.
Sir, I am one of the most frequent user and victim of Commissive Speech Act. You know, through Commissive Speech Act, the speaker commits to do something in future. For instance, the utterance "I will kill you" contains the implicit force of threatening someone to kill by the speaker. As a part-time gangster, I use Commissive Speech Act to make others' life abnormal. But sadly, when my wife called me in the middle of my work and she makes my life abnormal, you will see it by yourself. Hey, ফেরত না দিলে কিন্তু বুঝিস দেখ সুসাইডাল
ভাই 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 রাগ করে না ভাই ভাই আপনি রাগ করেন না বস আমি টাকা আনতেছি এখনই আপনার আপনি যদি আমি দাঁড়ান খালি আপনি মারেন না ভাই প্লিজ ভাই
Don't be afraid, your wife is calling.
গুন্ডাগিরি শেষ হয় নাই নাকি আমি এসে গুন্ডাগিরি দেখাই জলদি বাজার নিয়ে আসো আজকে যদি আমি বাজার লেটে পাইছি জলদি
I am happily unmarried.
Sir, he's completely irresponsible. Love marriage is the worst.
I also thought, just like my friends, I will get a decent, normal wife who will feed me, adore me, and take care of me instead shouting like a dog.
Hey, don't create an abnormal environment in my class. Adnan, you're from a good family. Do not do such abnormal gangster bad things. And Mrinmoy, try to be a bit decent, alright? Otherwise you'll end up killing your only husband. Meme. Now your turn. Have you brought your project?
Yes sir. So I have found Directive Speech Act which can cause the hearer to take a particular action in the future. So I used performative verb to comment my neighbor implicitly and ruin her life literally forever.
ভাবি কি যে করে না আপনার মেয়েটা সারা
কি
দিন
করে ভাবি?
ওই দিন দেখলাম 3টা ছেলের সাথে ঘেসে ঘেসে ঘুরতেছে
What?
আর কি সারাদিন পাগলের মতো গান শুনে আর আর্ট করে
What?
সাবধান হন ভাবি সময় থাকতে বিয়ে দিয়ে দেন আবার কে আসলো
আন্টি আমাদের বাসায় ময়লা নিতে আসছে চলেন আপনাকে নামাই দিয়ে আসি
মানে আমি কি ময়লা নাকি
Wow, thank you auntie for finally understanding.
You know I'm mobbing with the DRE.
You have successfully ruined your annoying neighbor's life by implicitly saying her, "Get out of my house." You see how interesting this utterance is. Although your utterance looks like a polite request, it is actually like a command filled with your frustration and anger. Very good job. Okay then, this is your final syllabus and your exam date, and another important thing is...
Sir, please, next class. We need to catch the bus.
Wait, we do not have any more classes. Please stay for 1 minute, listen to my words and then go.
Yes sir, বাস পাওয়াই যায় না।
Yes, sir. Bye, sir. Marks দিন বেশি করে।
Huh, give your exams properly first. আসছে marks দিয়ে দিয়েন। They're also right. I mean, বাসে জায়গা না পেলে তো সমস্যাই।
Wait a minute.
Hey, online class আবার কিসের বাস? Hey!
Bangladesh, a country filled with various languages, traditions, cultures, religion, and struggle for existence. Our beautiful green country is filled with both normality and abnormality for various reasons. But the adaptations of both of these criteria together by an individual gives birth to the new normal. Today, in this video, we'll be taking you to the variation of dialects and we'll show you how the power of language plays an important role in an individual's life. Let us take you to an interview that is taken by us of a Bhanwala Mama who is from Rangpur, and he will express his experience belonging to the abnormal community. তো রংপুর থেকে মানে ঢাকায় আসার কারণ?
সংসারের অভাব, গরিব মানুষ।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
দেশে কাজ বাজ নাই, এই হিসাবে ঢাকায় আসছি। কেউ চাকরি করে, কেউ ব্যবসা বাণিজ্য করে, কেউ রিক্সা চালায়।
না কি কি সমস্যা দেখতেছে প্রথমের দিকে আসে বা কি কি
প্রথম সমস্যা আসে, ভাষায় বুঝতে পারি না, বকা দেয় কেউ যদি, এটা বুঝতে পারি না, আবার গালি দিল না, বকা দিল না, ভালো বললো, এটাও বুঝতে পারি না। এই অবস্থায় চলতে চলতে কিছুদিন যাওয়ার পরে আস্তে আস্তে বুঝে, কিছুটা বুঝি কিছুটা বুঝি না, এই অবস্থায় আসি বর্তমানে।
Bangladesh has multiple dialects. We cannot say one is better than the other. The power of politics is based on who owns the power and the institutions. They are the ones who are telling us that if you do not have access to the standard dialect, you cannot have access to anything. To prove our point, we have taken some interviews of people from different regions and asked them there to express their experiences and sorrows based on language.
আমার নাম শাহিনুর বেগম। আমি বরিশাল থেকে আসি 8 বছর। প্রথম শুরুতে আইসে আমি কাজকর্ম অনেক কম পাইছি। মানুষে আমার বরিশালা ভাষা বলতে পারে না, আমি বলতে পারি না, এজন্য কাজ নিতে চায় না। মানুষে অনেক কষ্ট করছি। তারপরে মানুষে অনেকে বরিশালে আসলে তারা নিয়ে আমারে কাজ দিয়েছে, তারা কম বেশি করছি কাজ। এখন আমি একটু একটু ভাষা আমার এরা বুঝতে পারছে, এখন একটু কাজ আমার করতে আসি। অনেকে বলে যে বরিশালে মানুষ চোর বা করামুনা কাজ, সেই জন্য মানুষে কাজে নিতে চায় না, ভয় পায়। যখন কাজে ঢুকি তখন এইভাবে বলে যে না, কাজ ভালো আছে লোক।
আর নাম রাহুল, আর বর্তমান পেশাইদে পার্লারের সরি, তো বর্তমান তাহি অলঙ্কার চিরাগং। তো আর এক বড় ভাই আছে, আর একটা হা বনশ্রী একখান জব দিয়ে পার্লারের। তো জব করার আমি গেলাম, যার পর কি হলো মানে আমি হাসাহাসি শুরু করে দিই। আনহাত তো আতে খুবই খারাপ লাগে, খুবই বদদাস লাগে, কিন্তু মানে কি হইম মানে আত্মন এত যে খারাপ লাগে এটার হাসা হাসিয়ে আর বদদাস করি না পারি আই আর বড় বাইরে হই আই চলে এসেছি।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আমি সালওয়া। আমি সিলেটি, বাট আমার জন্ম সৌদি আরবিয়া। অবশ্যই আমি সিলেটি মারতে পারতাম অল দ্য টাইম, কারণ আমি আমার আম্মু আব্বুর লোকে সবসময় মারতে বড় হয়েছি, আম্মু আব্বু শিখেছেন। বাট অনেক জিনিস যেগুলো সৌদি আরবিয়াত হবা আম্মু আব্বুর লোকে যেগুলো মারছি হবা আম্মু আব্বুর লোকে যারা ব্যবহার করছে এগুলো তো আমার কোনো সময় আমি জানতাম না যে সিলেটও নাই। লাইক ইট লিটল বিট ডিফারেন্ট। যখন আমি সিলেট যাই পড়ালেখার লাগি, অ্যান্ড আমি তো পুরো শকড, মানে মানুষের মাথার স্টাইল ডিফারেন্ট, মানুষের ব্যবহার ডিফারেন্ট, সবাই বিভিন্ন ধরনের লাইক ডায়ালেক্ট আছে। সেও সুনামগঞ্জি সিলেটি, হবিগঞ্জি সিলেটি, বিয়ানীবাজারি, মৌলভীবাজারি, অনেক ধরনের ডায়ালেক্ট আছে। দেখে আমি কনফিউজ হয়ে গেছিলাম, শক হয়ে গেছিলাম। আমি তো জানতাম না যে সিলেটের মাঝে ডিফারেন্ট একটা অ্যাকসেন্ট বা ডায়ালেক্ট আছে। বাট ইভেনচুয়ালি আস্তে আস্তে আমি ইউজ টু হয়েছি। অ্যান্ড ইয়েস, আমি স্ট্রাগল করছি, অনেক ডেফিনেটলি কষ্ট হয়েছে, অবশ্যই হিলা কষ্ট না। বাট আমি যেহেতু বিদেশে জন্ম, বিদেশে থাকছি, পরে দেশে গেছি, অবশ্যই আমার কষ্ট হয়েছে কিছু একটা। তো আমি ফার্স্ট যেটা আমার মাথাত আয় কষ্ট লেগে রিক্সা দেখা। আমার কাছে কোনো আইডিয়া আছে না রিক্সা কিলা দেখেন, কিলা মাতইন, কিলা দাম দর করেন। আমার টেকার আইডিয়া নাই, আমার জায়গার আইডিয়া নাই, আমার কিছু নাই। আমার মনে এটলিস্ট 6 বছর এটলিস্ট আমি মানুষের লগে ঘুরছি, যেমন সেও আমার হেল্প করছেন ফ্যামিলি মেম্বার্সের লগে। বাট আস্তে আস্তে গিয়া আমি আস্তে আস্তে নিজের সাহস করিয়া নিজে আস্তে আস্তে আগবাড়ছি করিয়া গেছি।
The French intellect Pierre Baudot displays language in terms of the common, as well as the perspective of the other, the city dwellers. He brings out how language is not just used as a medium of communication, but also as a medium of power, politics, and also socially established norms. Such means are creating the abnormality in case of the unfamiliar languages, judging from the perspective of the standard language. His signature concept of the cultural capital focuses on the basic linguistic usage of the city dwellers that are labeled as the abnormal. Reflecting on their economic disability, the gamble of the normal and the abnormal, they sneak out their own way of the new normal for their own survival.
In this video, we did not add any subtitles. This is to show you how much we are unaware of different dialects of Bangladesh. We may find these dialects abnormal, but the same goes for them as they may find our standard dialect abnormal. Now, it is up to you to decide which dialect, language or tongue you think is normal or abnormal.